I hope we respond well. We haven't played well the last 3 games. Actually, I take that back. Defensively, we haven't been bad. Our offense has been, less than stellar. And we've got to get better. We shoot the ball well in practice at times, but it's that go-to player that we really haven't had this year. That I could just drop a play for Tish last year and was able to get a good shot or probably a bucket, and she made everybody around her better, which we really haven't had this year. Now we've had some really good spurts in the non-conference. I don't think we've really played that well in the conference. And, the biggest thing you have to do is just keep working harder. And that's what we've done. We've got to get better post-production aside from Khadijah. We got to get better guard production aside from Charice. And it's got to be more consistent, which it hasn't been. So, your guess is as good as mine. I hope we can break through it because I think we're close. But you could be close the other way, too. And that's the concerning part in this stage as a coach because, we've got to work harder and we've got to be more determined and, hit shots, hit free throws, and just be confident in our offense.
When you say that you haven't had that go-to player, do you have anybody who's close to being that you might be able to, as the conference goes on?
I think the 2 I mentioned, Charice and Khadijah, and we put some things in the last couple of days to get them both specific shots. We face a UNLV team that pressures the ball quite a bit and has caused us problems in the past. But I think those 2 stand out right now. And, they need some help. I think Jay's is going to be a really good low post presence. And it's good to have her back after the 10-day concussion protocol. The other guards, Bryce could be a good player, and she had a really good game against Utah State. And that's the kind of Bryce that we need moving forward. And like I said, we're close. We're close, but the danger. You're close one way and you're close the other. And, the biggest thing for us is we're going to just be determined and keep working hard.
Coach, I know it's still pretty early in the conference season, but when does the urgency start to kick in, especially when expectations are so high?
Yeah, last week. I mean, it started, and the sense of urgency started the first conference game. We hit Nevada and got a good conference road win, but just didn't play really well. We came home and lost a double overtime game. I thought we played okay. Our offense didn't, our defense really did. And then we just played terrible at Utah State. Second half was much better. But, the biggest thing for us is the sense of urgency is now, and it's here. And, I think it's tough for these guys because they're not used to being in this position, and it's no excuse. And we get everybody's best, and that's what we're going to get. And I don't think that they realize that we're one of the teams to beat, and people are feeling confident enough to do that. So we've got to get that confidence back.
Could you talk about winning at home? Like you guys had that tough stretch last year, but when you came home, you took care of your business.
We did.
It made all the difference.
It did. And, when we don't do that the first game of conference, that's tough. And we have to have short-term memory when it comes to that. We have the greatest fans, definitely, in the country and in our conference. And they'll come and support us. And I know they get upset when we lose basketball games, and I don't blame them. I really don't. But we've got to be better at home. We've got to use this as a home court advantage. We've got to use our fans, our rims, our familiarity with the arena, and just be confident at home. I don't know, and I can't speak for the team, but you can't have nerves when you're playing in front of that many fans. You can't have that. You just got to go and play. And we might have a little bit of that. I'm not real sure, but we've got to get better, and that's the bottom line.
I know coaches don't like to make excuses for anything, but I mean, how much has it hurt? You talked about how you want one of those low post presence to be a Jason Nunn. She hasn't been 100%.
Right.
Alexa hasn't been 100%. No, you don't like to make excuses, but how much has that kind of affected your guys' game plan going into games?
When Alexa got hurt, that really affected us early, I think, because we could use her. We could have used her all season long. I think, that hurt us early. And she was a senior. She'd been in this program for 4 years. And it just, Whitney's back, but she's been out for 2 years, so she's still getting familiar with everything. That was tough, but we've played long enough without her. And, actually we had her back there for a little bit, and then, I'm not sure, maybe 2 or 3 weeks we can have her back again. It just depends on her rehab. I think Jayza's going to emerge. Again, it wasn't like Jayza had a cold or the flu. I mean, coming back from a 10-day concussion protocol, you can't really do anything. So her conditioning had to get back in there because, it was the first day of practice from coming back from Christmas break. I think she'll get better, so I think Jayza's going to be back. My concern really is the guard play. We need more in our guards. Charice, Bryce at times are giving us a lift, but we just haven't had that other guard lately that has helped us. And I'm trying different combinations. I think Alex is playing well. I think Emily's played well. Janin gets frustrated with herself and takes herself out a little bit, and we need to get her back. And same with KP, and I think Emily's done well. So the toughest part's been finding that one guard spot that's going to be consistent, whether it's offense or defense. But we just haven't found that yet, especially during conference play.
Coach, tomorrow you guys feature 2 of the best teams or best defenses in the conference. What are you expecting in terms of physicality and just overall tomorrow?
It's the same thing UNLV's brought. They're going to bring pressure defense. They're going to press. They like to run. They're going to deny our guards and try to get cheap steals, different things like that. We've worked on it the last 2 days that we can, and we'll see if we're ready for it. But we've got to get open on the wings. We've got to make good, crisp passes. We've got to meet passes. And then we got to take what the defense gives us. And I think, the same thing that we did in the past can help us. And we've got to be strong and physical with the ball.
Coach, can you talk about the logjam of the second tier of the conference, like the 1 and 2?
Yeah, there's a bunch. We got, Fresno and Colorado State are undefeated. And then, there's going to be that. I mean, we had a chance with Fresno early. We haven't seen Colorado State yet. But, there's going to be the same thing. There's going to be, 3 or 4 losses, I think. That's going to determine the winner. Maybe less, but I don't think so. But we're all fighting. We're all fighting uphill now that we've lost a couple of games. And we can't afford to lose anymore, but we can't afford to look that far ahead. We've just got to get back, our swagger a little bit. We've got to get back our confidence. And, that's the biggest thing for us. And I think if we can break through, whether it's this game and that's the game we're going for, then, I think, again, that light that's flickering can turn on. You just don't want that light to turn off.
When do you think you guys lost that, and how do you get it back?
I don't know. I mean, I thought before Christmas break, beating Minnesota was a great win for us. I'm trying to think who was after that. Who was after the Minnesota game? Because I think we lost one. Yeah, that was the tough one for us. Losing at home against New Mexico State, and again, not playing real well. Not defending real well. We came back and beat a good Pepperdine team, but I think going into conference play, we were pretty confident. We had a pretty good test against Nevada that may have rattled us a little bit. I don't know. But losing the double overtime game against Fresno when a year ago we won some of those close games, that was a tough one. And that was a tough game to swallow. And I think, that hurt us a little bit. And then you go into Utah State and we just don't play well. So, we've prepared for everything every team is brought to us and given us. And we're doing the same thing with UNLV. It's just a matter of they've got to go and execute. And it's on them sometimes. I mean, I know as a coach and a responsibility, we have to prepare our team. And I truly believe we've done that. It's up to them to go out there and play. And they've got to play with confidence and both offensively and defensively. And, we can help them along the way, make some adjustments.
Coach, at the beginning of the season, you said Charice was trying to do too much.
Mm-hmm.
She comes out, last game with 21 points. Is she going to have to start taking games over and be the leading? Yeah,
she really is. Her and Khadijah are going to have to start. I think they're the two most comfortable. in putting up shots, being leading scorer, and carrying the team. And I think you're absolutely right. Charice has got to be one. And I've put some things in for her, and I've put some things in for Khadijah. Now, a lot of teams are going to play a zone because we haven't shot the ball real well. But we've put some things in both man and zone for those guys to get shots. And I think until others start emerging just 8-10 points a game, we're going to have to go to those two a lot.
Are you worried about her reverting back to taking on too much?
No, I don't think so, because she's done a nice job now. She really has, and she's growing into her role a great deal. And she was so good last year because Antisha took a lot of the brunt of defenses. So Charice was a really good player last year, and then she helped Tish. We haven't had that, so Charice has got to be it, or Khadijah's got to be it. If those two can feed off each other, then they can help others get better. But I do have to go to that well a great deal, and we're going to have to start doing that.
Is she embracing that, Coach? I mean, she's a sophomore.
You know what she had? I know, and she has, and that was, as a coach, you look at last year's team, and I thought we did really, really well, and then I'm thinking, all right, we've got an opportunity to do some special things this year, and I think we still do. I don't realize sometimes I got players that are playing that are sophomores, some people that were relying that might be freshmen, and it's okay. I mean, they have to embrace it. Bryce and Khadijah have to help them embrace it, but I think she has done well with that role now, because I think, and we've talked about it, she needs to take shots. She needs to take shots, and she needs to be part of that group that we go to. And like I said, I've put plays in for Khadijah, I've put plays in for Charice, and those two have to get started, and they have to lead this team. And then when other people emerge, they can help them out a little bit.
We talk about the rebounding a little bit. UNLV leads the conference in both offensive and defensive rebounding, and you guys didn't have a particularly good rebounding game
Yeah.
Saturday. What can you do to...
Well, we addressed that too, and we watched film on that, and we showed them there were times the shot went up and nobody was offensive rebounding, or one person. I thought we did a nice job the last 2 days of made a concerted effort to get to the boards, and keeping stats in practice and letting know what people are doing in there. But it's got to be a concerted effort every single time, because we haven't done a good job. And I thought that's what we've done a really good job with at the beginning of the season, was rebounding. And, we're not hitting shots, so we've got offensive rebound. I think we're playing good defense, but we're giving up too many offensive boards. So we've got to get in there and make sure that we limit them to one and done, and we get second and third chances.